Iran's capital is counting down to day zero, the day the water runs out and the taps run dry. Reservoirs that supply Tehran's 15 million residents are almost empty. This is the Karaj Dam, which supplies a quarter of the city's drinking water, now just 8% full. The president has warned that people may even have to evacuate, and water rationing has begun in some areas.
We may need to reduce the water pressure to zero during some nights while residents are asleep. This measure would help prevent water waste. However, it could inconvenience the public, so we ask citizens to ensure they install water storage tanks.
So what's going on? Well, rain should start falling in the autumn after Iran's hot, dry summer. But according to the National Weather Forecasting Centre, this has been the driest September to November period in half a century, with rainfall 89% below the long-term average. The combination of low rainfall and high heat over several years has left a huge area, shown here in red, that's in severe water deficit. It's almost 2,000 miles across. This was the Latian Reservoir near Tehran in June. By the beginning of November, it was just 9% full, with levels still falling. Climate change is part of the story, but that alone doesn't account for the crisis in Tehran. The population of the city has almost doubled from 4.9 million in 1979 to 9.7 million today. But water consumption has risen even faster, quadrupling from 346 million cubic metres in 1976 to 1.2 billion cubic metres now, as increasing wealth has bought washing machines and dishwashers. To supplement supplies from reservoirs, Tehran has had to turn to natural aquifers underground, which provide between 30 and 60% of its tap water. But that puts the city in direct competition with farmers who draw on water to irrigate crops. Levels are falling by 101 million cubic metres a year around Tehran, water that has accumulated from many decades of rain. The former deputy head of Iran's Environment Department says chronic mismanagement of natural resources has led to what he calls water bankruptcy.
These things were not created overnight. They're the product of decades of bad management, lack of foresight, over-reliance, and false confidence when it came to how much the infrastructure and engineering projects can do in a country that is relatively water short.
Government ministers blamed the water shortage on climate change, water leaks and the 12-day war with Israel. Tehran is one of several global cities vulnerable to water scarcity. Cape Town in South Africa narrowly avoided taps running dry 8 years ago after a citywide effort to save water. Even London, known for its rain, is at risk. Supplies haven't kept up with population growth and booming demand, as Tehran has found droughts that are being made more likely and more severe by climate change can expose the fragility of water supply. Thomas Moore, Sky News.